All right. Hey, everybody. Nikki Burnett here, Taste Life Nutrition with Gabrielle Grandel of
Hi, guys.
Gabrielle Grandel in Living Well, Dallas. This is Functional Friday. We do this once a month at noon Texas time, Central Time, and 11 o'clock Mountain Time. And so we just do this because we're nerds and because we want
proud
to,
of
it. And proud of it. We want to get information out there that maybe some people know and some people don't know. And I think it's important that we sort of distract from the crazy information that's on, the web, the internet, and really try to get the truth out there the best we know it. Science changes, and so we will be as up to date as we possibly know how to be. So Gabrielle, why don't you talk about who you are, what you do, and then we'll
thanks, Nikki.
Yeah,
it's always a pleasure working with you. I just want to say that you won't find anybody more authentic and smart and real and willing to help and generous working with Nikki. So it's really a pleasure. I am a dietitian by background. I practice as a functional medicine nutritionist, and I have a few certifications.
A few.
A couple of them I want you to know about is functional medicine certified health coach, and I'm also one of the first national board certified health coaches in the country.
Good stuff. And so, Gabrielle and I met when I was being coached by a couple of amazing functional medicine ladies that she works with, and then decided to partner up. And so I have my clients, and then my clients get a specific amount of time, a certain amount of time with Gabrielle. She is amazing at everything that she does, but and I'm speaking for you, but what she really likes and where we balance each other so much is she really likes the true health coaching piece of it. So she's functional medicine through and through, but the health coaching piece when it comes to, mind, mindset and mind body and, daily changes and working within the parameters that you're living in. So whether that's family dynamics, budget, she helps with all of that stuff. And she's really, really, really good at it. And so we just balance each other really well. And so we're like, okay, let's just do it on Facebook Live too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to continue to grow. At some point, I'm going to come on your radio show too.
Yes. Yeah. Do we have that date? Let's just say it if we have it.
I think it's July 23rd. Sounds right. Okay. But we'll let you guys know as it gets closer. I'll advertise that. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So the radio show, just so you can look out for that time and any other time, just to say.
Right. Yeah. A lot of good information. You have a lot of good different types of people on there sharing valuable stuff.
Yeah. I think it's been a lot of fun. Just, the different people, and it's all kind of comes back to nutrition, but it's pretty broad, which is intentional. So it's fun, but it's Taste Life Radio, super simple. And it's streamed live on kuhsdenver.com. And then I put it on the Facebook page as well. So you can find it in both spots. So let's talk about what we're supposed to talk about. So we've talked a lot about GI health, and one of the things that came up while we were discussing GI health was the exorbitant use of acid blockers, and the still this myth that it's necessary to block acid when we have heartburn. The thought is, the belief for many who just don't know, because it seems to make sense, is if you have a burning, and sometimes it's just incredibly intense, that you need to block the acid so it doesn't come up. And it works if you do block the acid, but this is the stuff that we want to get into. We want to get into, what is happening biochemically, what these acid blockers actually do, how they work, and how they are potentially damaging us, what they were intended for, and as much information as we can get, within the next, 10, 15, 20 minutes or something. So But if you, I mean, you know, the acid blockers, right? It's anywhere from Nexium, you got Maalox and Tagamet and Prilosec and Prevacid. Have I said them all? Pepsid. Did I say them all?
Pretty much. Zantac was the one that was recalled recently for having a cancer-causing agent in it. So
isn't that amazing?
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate. Little purple pills, but a lot of people think about, you know?
Right. Oh man. So were they recalled? Are they entirely off the market right now?
That's my understanding, or at least it has a black box warning.
You can buy it, but remember, it might cause cancer.
Right. Is that worth it? I don't think so.
What in the world? Oh man. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, so we want to dig into this a little bit, and I want to let Gabrielle kind of take it away from there, and then we'll just kind of start digging in and have some fun.
Yeah, I think it's just important for everybody to know, like, we don't want to have this false illusion that we can eat whatever we want and just take this pill and it's going to, you know, correct everything, because our body is speaking to us, you know, trying to let us know with these symptoms. So acid blocking drugs, they do just like what they sound like. They block the parietal cells in the stomach from producing acid. And we want to, we need the acid. And that's what we want to help you guys understand, is that we need the acid because it's important for lots of different things. It's important for digesting our proteins. It's important for the absorption of a few important vitamins and minerals like B12 and magnesium and calcium. It helps us to not allow for microbes like bacteria and yeast to grow in areas where they're not supposed to grow, like in our small intestine.
So just to interrupt you real quick, just because it's becoming more prevalent, I think more people have heard of it. We're talking about small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. If anybody has dealt with it or has done research on it, it's also, the acronym is SIBO. So just, I want to be a little bit specific because it's everywhere.
And there's even, you know, what we're finding is CFO too, right? With fungal overgrowth too. So it's a problem, you know, and these things are over the counter now. It's not even, they were meant to be prescribed, and they were meant to just be taken for a maximum of 6 weeks. And actually, my understanding is that they were recommended only if you had a documented ulcer. And, you know, we've just come a far ways from that, where people are taking them for months and decades and just nuts, you know? So, so coming back to why these things are important. Oh, it looks like my camera froze. Is it frozen on your end?
It's frozen, but we can hear you.
Okay. Oh, here we are.
There you are.
Hey. Yay. Okay. So, so talking about the things that are important of why we need acid. So B12, if we can't absorb our B12, then it can lead to symptoms like anemia, nerve damage, depression, dementia, even, you know, in the elderly population. If we don't have enough calcium because we can't absorb it, we can lead to, we can have things like osteoporosis and, you know, bone fractures. It also blocks the absorption of magnesium. And magnesium is important for a lot of reasons, but in this scenario, the reason why it's so important is because it actually helps to, it helps the sphincter at the bottom of the stomach. So we have two sphincters, one at the top and one at the bottom, because food is supposed to go down and not go back up. And so it relaxes that sphincter at the bottom of the stomach so that food can go down. So if we have, you know, so those are some problems with absorbing the nutrients if we don't have enough stomach acid to do so. It also, like we talked about, can affect the ability for the bacteria or the microbes to take over and grow. And if they are able to do that, then that causes a lot of inflammation, and it can cause things like bloating and gas and diarrhea and pain. And some of these GI symptoms, which are actually, funny enough, you know, part of the warning label on these particular drugs, you know, go figure. So it has a lot of nasty, they have a lot of nasty side effects. And the longer you take them, the more that you will experience things like this, likely.
Yeah. I think what I want to do is I really want to hit home and not kind of glaze over, because this is something that's really, really important, is this nutrient uptake, or the lack of the nutrient uptake. So we have an abundance of osteopenia and osteoporosis.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. So there are a lot of reasons for that. But as we age, we lose production of hydrochloric acid. And so sometimes we need to supplement with hydrochloric acid. But what we need to keep in mind is if we're taking these, I need you to sit down and think about this. You're not absorbing your nutrients and your minerals. And so you go to the doctor and the doctor says, you have osteopenia, we have to put you on this drug. Well, why don't we take a step back and think about, we have to do it very slowly, but think about the drugs that you're taking now, the impact that and including the including the acid blockers. Mm-hmm. Consider what they're doing to your body, and you're not absorbing your nutrients or your minerals that are going to build your bone, right? So we have to take a step back and really understand, why did this situation arise? Why do we have this diagnosis? So it could be a diagnosis of osteoporosis or osteopenia. It could be a diagnosis of a heart condition. If you're not absorbing your magnesium, what's happening? Your heart's not working properly, as well as a whole billion other, scenarios in the body. But this is truly creating a situation over the many years that we're taking it, even Tums. And so, and like the whole other thing on Tums, but this is, if you've been taking this, and I see this in practice, and Gabrielle, I know you do too.
Yeah.
People come to me and they've been taking them for years, and they'll tell me all these symptoms they had, and then we'll go through what they're taking, and like, oh, I can pretty much put everything that you're dealing with right there on that drug that you've been taking for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Even if it's over the counter, because it's indicated, I think there's a maximum of 6 weeks, but it's not indicated for long-term. It's like I thought it was 2 weeks, but maybe even some situations for, back then for, for ulcers, it was 6. I don't know, but either way, it's not very long. Right. And people are on for years because they're told it's okay, or they're not told anything, or they're like, don't worry about it, it's fine, just take it.
Yeah, no one's managing it because it's over the counter,
right.
Time, right?
Right. Well, yeah. And even those who are being managed, right, they're like, exactly. My doctor said it's fine. I've been on it for 10 years. My doctor said it's fine. I'm like, okay, let's think about it. And that's what we have to do with our clients, is take them through the steps and tell them the why and educate them. And so often it's amazing what happens when they come off of these things. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of balancing the body. It's not about covering up the symptoms and stopping the acid and all of these things. Yes. And a little bit on a soapbox right now, because it's so flipping frustrating.
Yeah. Huh? I was just saying, it's important for you to share this information.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating when we see this constantly in practice and people are getting really sick. Think about cancer. It can happen. Even if it's not from just an ingredient that's put in it, if it's blocking nutrients, if we're not absorbing nutrients, if we're not getting the things that we need, if our body's not functioning properly, stuff's going to get out of control. And that's exactly what happens here.
That's right.
I'll stop.
No, that's good. It's so important for people to know. And like you said, we don't want to just be covering up the symptoms. We want to figure out why the body is doing this. And so let's talk a little bit about what people can do and why, why this is happening a little bit, because it's common lifestyle and diet things that are going on. So when it comes to diet, a few things that are major contributors are fried food, spicy foods, alcohol, to a lesser extent, tomato-based foods or citrus foods for some people. Mm-hmm. And the common ones that you hear us talk about a lot that are really inflammatory in a lot of ways are gluten-containing foods and dairy. So it's really valuable to try to eliminate these things in your life. This is something you can do on your own for a couple of weeks and see if things get better. Also, when it comes to food, just being mindful and trying to be slower when you're eating. So chew your food, thoroughly. Take a few deep breaths before you sit down and eat to relax your system. You'd be amazed at what these kind of small, things can do. Nikki, you want to talk a little bit about some of the other things that people can do?
Yeah, well, so I want to hit on what you were just talking about, which we would just call mindful eating, because there's so much more to it than people really understand. People will say all day long, chew slowly, don't eat fast, don't gulp your food, chew 40 times, da 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 da, but nobody ever tells you why. And so I want to talk about, briefly why, because that's what helps me be motivated. If I understand, because that's what I just always ask why. I think anybody in our world, that's what we do. You always ask why, because there's something deeper, right? But essentially, if we are eating fast, if we're gulping, if we're working and eating, if we're driving and eating, and we're eating on the run, and all these things, we already live in a stressful world, and our body already sits in a stressed place, and so we're sitting more than we should in what's called fight or flight. It's our sympathetic nervous system, and it's fight or flight. And so the blood essentially goes from the core to the extremities, because it always is thinking that we're having to run from something or pull a car off of somebody or something really crazy and hard. And so we have those adrenal hormones just pumping constantly. And so it's interesting when that happens too, because we have, so much, all of this dysfunction, and I can't lose weight. And we're always in this sympathetic nervous system mode. So cortisol is constantly elevated. Well, it's inflammatory and catabolic. So you're going to hold on. Catabolic meaning it's breaking muscle tissue down. So you're going to hold on to fat, but you're going to break down muscle tissue. And so, cortisol naturally is anti-inflammatory until it's just constantly elevated, right? So, but what we're trying to do is move into the rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. We rest, we digest, all of, sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that? My husband's cleaning. He feels the need to blow the leaves off the patio. Sorry. I tell him, you got to be quiet when I'm on Facebook Live. So anyway, I will try to not pay attention. Anyway, so rest and digest, the blood goes from the extremities to the core. So again, allowing you to digest your food, allowing you to produce the digestive enzymes, allowing you to produce the hydrochloric acid that you're supposed to break everything down and utilize the nutrients. So is that part of your problem, or part of any of the problems? That could be a huge part of it, is not bringing calm. So what Gabrielle was saying, pray over your food, smell it, chew it, enjoy it, eat it. It's so yummy. Food is amazing. That's why part of why we do what we do, right? We love food. It's good stuff. Yeah. So let's have some fun with it. Enjoy the people that you're around. My husband and I like to go outside. We love to be outside and in the sun, or even in the shade when it's really hot, but we eat together and we talk and we play with the dogs. It's not always that way, but we do it as much as we can. And so I don't know what else I want to say on that. I think that's it. So
that's a really good point. Yeah. Just be mindful. You'll get so much more out of your meal for your body and for your mind, and, feel satisfied. And like Nikki said, you'll activate that parasympathetic nervous system. Losing weight can also be important, because if we have a lot of particularly belly fat or abdominal fat, it pushes on that sphincter. So that is helpful, in many ways. Also, if you want to see, we talked about eliminating gluten and dairy, but you can also do food sensitivity or allergy test or celiac test to see if this is really a problem for you, because for most people it really is, but sometimes people need to see the data, to prove that to themselves. And then looking at microbe testing. So looking at bacteria, yeast overgrowth through stool tests or breath tests, depending on what you're looking for. There's also a bacteria called H. pylori that is really synonymous with ulcers and reflux. So oftentimes that's part of the picture. And if we can just, if you can work with the practitioner to treat those symptoms, we can use natural means, botanicals, herbals, essential oils, different things like that to get rid of these bugs that might be causing the problem. And then you can also take things, again, it's best if you can work with a practitioner who's knowledgeable, but things like zinc carnosine, again, magnesium, glutamine, digestive enzymes, even betaine hydrochloric acid to replenish what's missing. These are all things that can really help your situation that don't have side effects, for most of the population. They're really beneficial and helpful. So we just wanted to share that there are a lot of things that you can do naturally to help reduce these symptoms. And it's not about taking a pill that masks them. It's about figuring out why they're happening. And then you eliminate the likelihood to develop these other conditions that we mentioned before, like osteoporosis or GI symptoms or depression or what have you.
Yeah. One of the things I was going to say regarding H. pylori, I have within the last couple of months 3 clients who are all dealing with H. pylori. And I hadn't seen it a whole lot until recently, and I don't know why that is, but yeah, there's a lot of H. pylori. And an interesting thing, this is a fairly new this is new knowledge to me. You may have known this, but I was like, this is the coolest thing, because I've run into multiple people who have a hard time swallowing. Like, okay, is it something physical? Is it something, what could it be? H. pylori can make it hard to swallow. So if you're having symptoms and and the symptoms maybe aren't bad, but you're not able to swallow very well, it could be H. pylori. It also could be the vagus nerve. And so that's a big thing as well, but it also could be both. But super interesting, because I think a lot of people have that issue and they don't understand why. Can't swallow pills. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't remember what it was, so it doesn't matter. We're good.
Well, I hope this was helpful for everybody. We just want to share with you, like Nikki said, we do these on the first Friday of every month, and 12 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Mountain Time. You can find me if you like to work one-on-one. I see people at Living Well Dallas. The website is livingwelldallas.com. You can also call for a free 20-minute consultation to see if it's a good fit. That phone number is 972-930-0260. And you can find me on all the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Gabrielle Grandel.
Perfect. And I think I already said, so I'm tastelifenutrition.com is the website, the Facebook page, the Instagram, it's all of the stuff basically, or Taste Life Nut. I think you can find it either way. So awesome. So thanks everybody. I hope that this was beneficial for you. If you have questions, you can reach out to us. Feel free to post your questions down below. I know we can't see them since we're on the Zoom platform right now. Right. But we'll answer the questions. If you have things you want us to talk about, let us know. We love ideas. We don't want to come up with them ourselves. We want everybody else to come up with them.
Well, we want to serve you, we want to talk about what you're interested in, right? Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Gabrielle. And thanks everybody. We will see you in a month.
Okay. Have a good weekend.